everybody. This is Kathy with Premier Marketing. Thank you for joining us today for another valuable webinar that we're doing. I have North American with us today, AJ from North American. How are you doing today, AJ?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing perfect. Thank you. So I'm so excited. You're going to be talking about the Power of InsMark, your sales and marketing presentation system. So I'm just going to let you take it away. Thank you for helping us.
Appreciate the time. Yes, so InsMark has been around for a very, very long time. Some people are familiar, some people aren't. It seems like there was a lot of people using it back in the day and sort of went away from it or forgot about it. I still use it. It is very, very powerful. And ultimately what it is, it's a third-party illustration that you can attach to a sales illustration that is going to show multiple things. It's going to show, you can show your IUL, for example, versus various financial alternatives, you know, whether you're showing a 401k, IRA, CD, money market, all those sort of different things. And again, it is free if you have a contract with North American, and I'm going to show you where you can download it when you're going into our illustration software. Okay, now I'm going to buzz through this quickly. I'm not going to show you every module, but I do have a recording that I'm going to send out to everybody that actually goes through the InsMark training in depth that I provided. It's about a 45-minute long piece, but I want to show you basically the bullets, you know, the highlights, what you can generate from using the InsMark software. First thing though is, how do you get there? You go, once you're logged into the North American site, you go to the illustrations tab, and what you'll notice is it says Life Illustrations, Illustration Software. You click Illustration Software, and this is the normal spot where you just run your illustrations with North American, right? Whether you're running term, IUL, GIUL, it's right here. But what you'll notice below that is the InsMark Illustration System. What you're going to want to do is you're going to need to download this. So all you do is you'll click here, it'll ask you for the serial number, and you'll put that in, and then it'll download onto your computer. Now, one thing I do need to point out, turn off your pop-up blockers. That always seems to be the biggest hiccup that people run into on this. So when you're in here, again, InsMark Illustration System, download it. And then once you've done that, now let's go back into the launch web-based illustrations. Okay, now I'm going to show you what it looks like, how you get in there, and then I'm going to show you some examples of what the outputs are, what it can generate from like a third-party illustration standpoint. And again, this is a free third-party software illustration system that is attached to the North American illustration system as well. So I've already pre-created a few different ones, obviously, just to save some time. So here's an example. Let's say that I want to show your typical retirement supplement type case, right? So I'm going to go in here. And I'm choosing the Builder Plus 4 because that's our main product when we're talking about accumulation first and foremost, where the death benefit is secondary, right? Now, just to show you what I'm doing here, here's a 45-year-old female, preferred non-tobacco. I'm doing your typical minimum distribution, minimum death benefit, maximum distribution solve, right? That retirement supplement type case. So what I'm doing, just to keep it easy and simple, I'm paying $10,000 in a year for 20 years. Then I'm showing the distributions as well, okay? And I'm just showing an illustrated rate of 6%. So now you can view the full illustration. And it, of course, this is web-based, so it does take a little bit of time. But I just want to kind of give you a lay of the land of what we're working with here, what I'm going to be showing on the illustration software, and then, okay, now that I've done the illustration, let's tie it to InsMark. Okay, so now you'll see here's the illustration, right? Death benefit there. You'll see the premiums go in down here, the $10,000 a year, all the way to the year 20, right? Which would be age 65. Then I'm showing tax-free distributions of over $30,000 to age 90. All right, now that I've kind of given you the lay of the land, what we're working with, where does InsMark fit in? So here, you click the InsMark button. Okay. And again, it is web-based, so it takes a little bit. And you'll see that it is downloaded. There'll be a button up here, right there. So you click there, and it brings you right into the InsMark software. So you click here in the InsMark Illustration System, and then it'll ask you to title the client. So I put create new client workbook. I put OK, and I'm going to show you the modules that pops up. I'm not going to get into all the details of it, but I'm going to show you what it looks like at least to get you started. So if you want to do permanent versus term, you can do it. Other investments versus your policy, various financial alternatives, illustration of values, life plan illustration. There's quite a few different modules that are free on here that you can use. IRA calculators, taxable account calculators, personal needs analysis. This is sort of the home base. So 90% of the time, we use the module here, the comparisons, the other investments versus your policy, various financial alternatives, the cost of waiting, and then also the individual illustrations. That life plan illustration is kind of the main focus. Real quick, I want to show you what you can do. Let's just say you want to show it versus one investment. So you check the other investments versus your policy, click OK. It'll let you change the tax bracket if you want to, how long you want to illustrate it for. Here is the really cool part about this too, is you can choose the investment details. So if you want to show it against a mutual fund or something like that, and you have the details on it, you can put the interest rate in there. You can change it, right? You can title it. You can change the sales charge. You can change the management fee. Then you can change all of these different report selections as well. There are many reports you can choose from. I like to keep it simple. Otherwise, it just gets a little bit too busy. So like in this example, if I'm just comparing it up against that mutual fund, for example, my Builder Plus 4 that I just ran, this is what it's going to look like. So I'll click preview, and you can see you can add a cover page if you want to. You don't have to. But what you'll notice here is this is showing on the left-hand side, the mutual fund, and I'm actually being pretty gracious. I'm giving that mutual fund a 7% yield, and I'm only showing a 6% yield on the Builder Plus 4. But remember, this mutual fund is going to be taxable, right? So here's the power of InsMark. You'll notice there's the $10,000 going in each year into the mutual fund, right? There's $10,000 going in each year to the Builder Plus 4. Now, in the right-hand column, in the red, you'll notice that's where it shows the death benefit. Don't forget, this is life insurance first and foremost. So if they pass away, that's going to be tax-free to the heirs, right? It's going to be a greater value than what you're going to be getting in that mutual fund. Now, also, once you make it to age 65, right, now it's starting to take those loans tax-free out of the Builder Plus 4. So this is trying to show the mutual fund trying to keep up with it, right? So we're showing the matching distributions. So obviously, I built the Builder Plus 4 where it's going to be paying out all the way to age 90. Well, look what happens because of the mutual fund being taxed every year. It runs out of gas around age 75. Where in the Builder Plus 4, you're getting those tax-free loans all the way to age 90. So that is just a quick and easy explanation of the value and, you know, kind of like the firepower in InsMark. Now, real quick, what I want to do is show you some of the other examples as it pertains to what the outputs can look like. So I showed you the other investment, right? This is that side fund, the mutual fund I just showed you. This is what it looks like when you create the PDF. There's that $10,000 going down the left-hand side. There's the distributions. The mutual fund runs out of gas on the left-hand column. Now, let's show another one. If you want to run up against various financial alternatives, you can. This is what the output is going to look like. Here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this. So again, I'm still using the same client, but now I'm showing various financial alternatives. So I specifically picked a conventional savings plan, a CD, and a money market fund, okay? Because those are common places where a lot of people think the best place to save their money is for later down the road for potential retirement. What's all well and good, right? But look at what they're getting in their returns. Like I even looked this up earlier this morning, a conventional savings plan showing 3.3, a CD of 4%, a money market of 3.75. And remember, the taxation part of it on the backside is really where it is going to shine for the Builder Plus 4 versus the alternatives, right? So once again, the $10,000 is going in each year. The CD, savings account, money market. Here is the Builder Plus 4 on the right-hand side. And remember, in red is the death benefit. They pass away. That's leverage, tax-free to the heirs that they wouldn't get with the money market, the CD, and the savings account, right? Now, we get down to age 65. They start taking distributions. What happens to the other vehicles? They run out of gas, right? Where the Builder Plus 4 is still paying tax-free distributions and loans all the way to age 85 in this scenario. I'm going to show you a couple other examples of where InsMark really shines, the power of it. If it'll let me switch. So this one is not a comparison piece, but what it does is actually lays out, if you are doing the typical retirement supplement type case and you want to show this sort of on a third party, the power of it, a third party piece. So in that example, so this is showing you that Builder Plus 4 that I designed where they're paying $10,000 for 25 years. So here you'll see pre-retirement accumulation, right? The death benefit starts at $195 and change. They're putting in $10,000 a year for 25 years. So total premiums illustrated $250, okay? Now this is where it gets really powerful. Annual policy distributions at age 65 for 20 years is going to be over $50,000 a year. That's going to be tax-free, right? So this person also would have paid in $250. Look what they're getting in total policy distributions that are tax-free, over $1 million. That is extremely powerful. And then this makes it even more apparent, right? It highlights, hey, I'm putting in $250,000 here for pre-retirement. Look what I'm getting in cumulative distributions, over $1 million. And the death benefit, remember, if they pass away along the way, is going to be tax-free. So that is the life plan illustration. Again, it's not a comparison. It just takes that Builder Plus 4 and puts it on a nice, neat, concise third-party piece like this, and it points out the distributions, the surrender value, the tax-free death benefit at certain ages. Very powerful. The last one I wanted to show you is called cost of waiting. So, you know, you get a lot of those clients out there that they kind of hem and haw about making the decision, and they say, well, you know what, I think maybe I'll just wait a few years to get my life insurance and start getting that cash value rolling. Well, this will highlight if you just wait. Here's an example of 5 years. So an example is this. If the person at age 40 purchases a policy and they start paying $10,000 a year, and we're going to be taking the distributions at age 65 versus somebody who waits 5 years. So, right, they're age 45 on this right-hand side. So they're going to be paying 5 years less because they're starting 5 years later. Well, think about this too. If they're 40 right now, more than likely, they're going to be healthier at age 40 than 45, right? So that's another reason to get the life insurance now. Well, look what you're doing here. You're paying $10,000 a year for 25 years. The plan B, if you're 45 years old, it's $10,000 for 20 years. So you're paying, yes, $50,000 more because you're starting 5 years earlier if you're age 40 versus the $200,000 you would pay at age 45. But look what you'd be getting in distributions tax-free if you started 5 years earlier at age 40. It's over $1 million versus the 673. That's quite the difference if you just wait 5 years. So this points out, hey, get the ball rolling as soon as possible. Don't wait the 5 years. Also, you got to remember about insurability. Of course, you're going to be 5 years older if they're 45 instead of 40. Who knows what the health is going to be like? So this is a very important module that they point out here. And here's what it looks like on paper. $10,000 going in on the 40-year-old versus the $10,000 going in on the 45-year-old. They're waiting 5 more years, right? Well, look at the distribution difference. You're getting over $50,000 versus the $33,000. and you're only putting in $50,000 more, overall in distributions, they're getting 300,000 plus more in tax-free loans by not waiting. So those are just a few of the modules that you'll want to pay attention to when you get into InsMark. Again, I have a recording that covers all of this in detail, how you can change certain things, how you can go from cost of waiting to various financial alternatives, other investments. I'm going to pass that along to Kathy as well. So when you get a chance, once you are logged into North American, download InsMark and start utilizing it. Any questions or comments, Kathy, on any of this? I know I buzzed through it quick, but I just wanted to go high level on the power of InsMark.
I think you did a really good job going over everything there. I like all the extra illustration pieces that are very good for when you're talking on the table with your clients, getting all that information in front of them and make them aware. We do talk to a lot of agents who tell us, it's like, we ran them an illustration, we helped them with this, and they're like, they're just going to do a term today because they're going to wait for another 5 years and see what their financials are looking like. So that cost of waiting is going to be huge for those agents. And then the life plan comparing, we see a lot of people still putting money in their CDs. Just to open their eyes a little bit about, this is the difference. What are you using your money for? What do you need your funds for? And the nice thing is, using your IUL that you showed there, that cash value that's built into the system, they have a better way of being able to use money and a larger amount of money later on when they need it. So that's the opportunity there to show them. So I hope each agent that's watches this is either appointed with us or wants to get appointed with us, please to make sure they reach out to us, and then that way they can start using the InsMark system there. I'm looking forward to you sending over that email to me once you've watched this webinar, and if you're decided you want the extra 45-minute video to go through to get everything all set up or get contracted with North American or have any additional questions, please reach out to myself and my team at 800-365-8208. My team extension is 607. AJ, if they want to get a hold of you, have any questions for you, how can they get a hold of you? Your name's right there on your phone number. I just seen that.
Yep, 701-433-6026.
Perfect. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. If you have any questions, reach out to either one of us. Take care. Have a great day.
Take care, everyone.